guys, it's MovieFanatic 18 here, and today I'll be showing you my favorite 80s films of all time. The first one is The Goonies. Good film in my opinion, very funny, and I actually watched this movie a few days ago. And I used to watch it before, but after the part when they find the map, I just would stop watching it. But I felt like watching it. Hilarious movie in my opinion. And some people think that Steven Spielberg directed this film, but he didn't. The story was by Steven Spielberg, but he did not direct it, although he did direct a few scenes for the film. Teen Wolf, just the first one. The second one is boring in my opinion. And the first one stars Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future, Family Ties, Spin City, and it's a pretty cool, kind of, not really like a cliched 80s teen film, but pretty funny in my opinion, especially the part. My favorite scene for the film is when he's on top of the van and dancing to Surfing USA. It's Pretty in Pink with Molly Ringwald, John Cryer, and I forgot the other guy's name. And Andrew McCarthy and John Hughes wrote this film. He did not direct it, but pretty cool film in my opinion. And when I saw it the first time, I was pretty upset that she didn't end up with him, but whatever. And also what's his face? The guy that plays the role of Ultron, Jim Spader, comes on in this film as the friend to this guy. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty good 80s film in my opinion, and good film. The next one is 16 Candles, also starring Molly Ringwald, and it stars Anthony Michael Hall, who I think he's the kid. Also, I think he also comes on in The Breakfast Club as the kid whose parents make him do work. But yeah, cool 80s film. Not my favorite, but still good. I kind of think of this as an underrated 80s film. The next one is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Good film. I enjoy watching it. And it's pretty funny how, and this one is a true comment to each film when it comes to the character Cameron, because he doesn't really like to do anything. So Ferris pretty much forces him to take his father's car and skip school, all to show him a good time pretty much. And at the end of the movie is when Cameron realizes, I gotta stand up for myself and not feel sorry for myself. So, good film with Matthew Broderick and Matthew Broderick and the kid that plays Cameron. The next one is Stand By Me, probably one of my favorite 80s films, and it stars Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell, and some other person who I can't pronounce his name. And this is a really cool 80s film, and I wouldn't say it could kind of relate to this film, but out of all these characters, I probably would be Will Wheaton's character, because I like to write, but instead of writing, I have a blog, and the link to my blog will be in the description down below, so check that out, and also the links to my social media accounts. And the funny thing is, my friend from high school, I sent him a picture of Corey Feldman, and I told him, you look a lot like him, but the only exception is that my friend doesn't have blonde hair, but the glasses kind of made me think of him. So yeah, if you're watching this, you're Corey Feldman. And the next one is Big, a good film with Tom Hanks, and I kind of love how this film did it right by having, because they could have done it in a way where it's like, let's have Tom Hanks act like an adult and think like one when he realizes he's an adult. But the good thing is, this movie is kind of like, showing the life of an adult through a kid's perspective, which is what I think they excelled on. Because there's a part in the film where and other parts of this movie where they make adult like jokes and references, and he doesn't get it because he's a little kid. So there's like this one part of the movie where he brings this girl home with him, and then she says, "Oh, I don't think we should do this yet." And he's like, "Do what?" He's like, "Well, I like you, and I want to sleep, and I want to stay the night." And he says, "Oh, you mean sleep over?" And then she says yes. And before he opens the door, he's like, "Okay, but I get to be on top." Man, that's one of my favorite scenes of this film. And this one, good film by Tom Hanks. I love this part. This is one of my favorite movies of his. So hopefully in the near future, I will do like my favorite Tom Hanks movies. And the next one is The Breakfast Club. Good film, directed by John Hughes. Yeah. Oh yeah, he did direct this one. Okay. Good film directed by John Hughes. Wait, did he direct it? Oh yeah, he wrote and directed The Breakfast Club. Good film. I love this movie. Pretty funny, especially how. And my favorite scene of this film is when they all sit around discussing how they got into detention and how this character right here, she didn't even do anything bad to get detention. She just showed up because she didn't have anything better to do with her day. And it also stars Molly Ringwald, Emilio Estevez, and the kid from 16 Candles, which is him right here. And yeah, pretty cool film in my opinion. I love the dancing scene where they're dancing in the hallways. And when he talks about how, and when this character talks about how his life is at his house. And the next one is Back to the Future, parts 1 and 2. The third one came out in 1990, but whatever. And this is probably my favorite film of all time. And I think this is the movie that got me into loving movies and wondering, oh, how did they do that? Because I remember when I would watch this movie, when I bought this and when I would watch it, I would watch the special features because I was curious. Like, for the second film, I was like, I wonder how they made the hoverboards fly, how they made it look like if the car was flying and other cool stuff like that. So yeah, good film in my opinion. And hopefully Hollywood doesn't do something dumb and remake this film, because it would probably be terrible. So just keep this film how it should be, original, and not deserve a remake. This film does not deserve to be remade. So hopefully Hollywood don't do this. And it's Batman, the first one directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton as Batman and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Good film, love it. My favorite part of this movie is when Bruce Wayne gets interrupted by the Joker and he gets mad and he's like, "You wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts." So that's a pretty cool film in my part of the movie in my opinion. And the thing that I kinda like and hate is the fact that after Batman Returns, Warner Brothers got rid of Tim Burton, but odds are they probably had to do that because parents complained that Batman Returns was too creepy because of the penguin, and now they got super cartoonish Batman movies. Well, not really movies, but that were directed by Joel Schumacher. And yeah, that's it for today. And these are just my favorite 80s films of all time. And give this video a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And the links to those social media will be in the description down below.